Hey everybody, Dave Neal here. In this video, I wanted to react to Kanye West being on the Joe Rogan Experience. He recorded an episode this week on the Joe Rogan Experience talking about how he's running for president and some of the other innovative ideas he has. You need an Adderall and a couple cups of Red Bull, some Surge, Mountain Dew, Code Red. You really need a lot of energy to stick with this. I mean, it goes all over the place. It is a buffet of topics. Or as Kanye likes to call them, symphonies. Well, I'm all played out. There was a lot of symphony happening. I wanted to discuss it all and not just rag on Kanye. I think he's got a lot of great ideas. And of course, now I'm doing this right now on a Sunday afternoon because my Patriots are getting blown out by the 49ers at halftime. Maybe that changes. Probably not. Tough season. Miss you, Tom Brady. So, Kanye, yeah, he's running for president, third party. Kind of feels like a useful idiot at this point to the Trump campaign because I feel like, if anything, he'll pull a few votes from the Democrats, probably more from the Democrats than the Republicans, just because, you know, that's the way it goes with third party. They kind of siphon off the Democrats. And look, I'm not even against a third party candidate. I think it's good to challenge different political opinions and all that. And Kanye's really apolitical, I would say. He's got a whole bunch of creative ideas. I don't think they really fit into a political mold. But at this point, this late in the game, the election's a week away. It seems pretty ridiculous that he's on the Joe Rogan Experience, even having these conversations right now. They're good conversations to have, but you got to get one step at a time. We're in a batch system. The elections, it's like you got to get through one thing to get to the next. Kanye's got less of a platform than Trump does at this point. And look, I posted a video the other day. I got called a libtard and a cuck and a this and a that, a beta. Just like one thing after another. There's no bias at this point. If we're a week away from the election and you don't have a point of view, come on now, folks. The world's in a tough place. The U.S. is as well. I like a lot of Kanye's ideas. I just don't think, getting a message from God that you should run for president is enough of a reason to do such a thing. I think there's a lot of other things that can be done to sort of prove his worth to society. And of course, he's already done a ton culturally as an influencer, as a musician, an artist, producer, all those things, dealing with the Kardashians. I mean, the guy's done a lot. But maybe as an advisor, he'd be in a better spot. Someone like, even because I say this about same thing about like Andrew Yang, right? Like he'd be a great advisor for universal basic income. Kanye would be a great advisor for sustainable farming within the school system. I mean, it's not a crazy idea that we're just poisoning our kids with this pink slime we give them all, in this socialized education that we have. I know we get triggered when we say socialized, but the education is socialized, right? We pay for it. I think the school this kids go to is probably a private school. But in the episode with Rogan, he talked about sustainable growth and how he goes and gets these top level chefs for his school, which I think is all great. But can it be done practically? Can some school system in the Central Bronx have a top level Michelin star chef cooking for them pink slime hors d'oeuvres or whatever? Is this even an option? It's one thing to have great ideas. It's another it's like the electric car was designed 100 years ago. It took a little while for them to get it all together, right? Yeah, they killed the electric car. That's a whole political issue. But the point is that Kanye, I mean, he might be better served as an advisor to the housing and urban development, or different cabinets, agriculture. There's just different things. I mean, but, Rogan started asking him about his foreign policy, this and that. And it's like, look, no one wants to go drone bomb somebody in the Middle East. No one wants to go, do X, Y, and Z. But there is a level of offensive military action that you take to protect yourselves. I'm not saying that any of that has been done recently. They're building weapons of mass destruction in North Korea, long-range ballistic missiles. Leave a comment on how I'm wrong about it all. But the point is do we really trust, Kanye to just blare Jesus Walks as he goes into North Korea and talks to, Kim Jong-un or whatever? They both would have incredible style together. Just seeing like Kim Jong-un with like his Yeezy, silicone injected shoes or whatever the hell they are. Point is, I think you talk to Kanye the week after the election, but you get him when you get him. I mean, if you wanted to come on my podcast, I mean, come on, you'd push, your mother into the middle of the street to get him on, of course. But, by the end of the podcast, after having Kanye on, they played the whole like how to vote third party thing. And it's like, of course, I'm sure that was contingent on Kanye going on the podcast, was having, showing people how they can actually vote for him. It just seems kind of reckless to me at this point. It's almost like this. I remember in high school, we had the student, the senate or whatever. They spent all semester trying to plan for the senior prom. They got the DJ, they got this, they got that. And then like 4 days before the prom, a couple of the kids started a petition to try to get the ska band to play. I know I'm really dating myself to the early 2000s here. But it was like, where the hell were you guys in the fall when we were planning all this? Kanye, where were you in, 2.5 years ago? When, wearing a MAGA hat, when you were trying to get, different change. I will say him and his Kim Kardashian, they've done a fantastic job with prison reform and bringing that and like using their celebrity and their influence to bring a higher message. I'm totally on board with that. I just think it's reckless that that Kanye's even going, on this last minute crusade to try to siphon off some ballots. I mean, yeah, look, people that even want to think about running for president spend millions of dollars with, these committees that see like, is this even possible? What are the repercussions? This and that. I mean, someone like Kanye, I think you're better off, using your platform, going into different cities, like a mayor would, like kind of take over a city and then find out what you can do within your local environment to better run the system. What's more efficient? Out here in Southern California, every school has, a like ton of solar panels on their roofs and on their carports. They've decided that they can put their money together to get sustainable energy during the day, which is when the kids are in school. Perfect, right? Perfect. Well, what else can be done? What else? You can't farm everywhere. You can't have all that. I mean, it might be that Kanye needs to work with, whoever's in charge of the education and find better ways to bring arts back to the school. With all these jobs that we have that are going to be automated for the next generation, there isn't going to be much left for a lot of people to do. I think art is going to be a big thing. You can't automate art. So if Kanye can help develop a plan to bring art to places where they don't have it, that's a big deal. That's good for society, whether it's music or, visual, whatever it is. So anyway, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. I just, real tough at watching that episode. The comments were brutal from people, just brutal. Because it's like on one end, you got a guy who, you hate to hear anyone call themselves a genius, but, he's definitely thinking in a certain way that is just firing nonstop with ideas. That's a good thing. ADHD, ADD, whatever it is that he's got, whatever is going on in his head. I'm not a therapist. I can't prescribe it. Whatever it is, that's good. It's good to have crazy ideas like that because you stumble on some good ones. He just needs a couple people behind him writing it all down and being like, oh yeah, that kind of can work. Or, oh no, the Michelin chef, in every school system, that can't work. But, oh yeah, we could probably spend some school funds and teach people how to do sustainable, gardens on the roof that we're not using, which is probably better than just playing kickball at 3 p.m. every day. You know what I mean? What are these gym teachers doing anyways? Don't you ever wish you just were a gym teacher though? What a great gig that was. You got that big sack with all the balls. We never had a dodgeball that wasn't just broken in 15 different places. We couldn't figure that out. But anyway, folks, I digress. Look, I'm sounding like Kanye now. I'm talking about dodgeballs. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think if you've watched the Kanye episode. I think it's worth watching. I think it's good to see innovative thinking in a 2D political world. It's nice to see somebody who's thinking three-dimensionally, but also kind of reckless at this point to be coming in to a system that like no one got to debate him, no one got to kind of pick apart his ideas. Even when Rogan was asking, he's kind of like, he's like, well, I'll get the best people to do the job. Well, that's what Trump said. And then they ended up firing everyone. And, they don't even have a pandemic team, before the worst pandemic of our lifetimes. I digress. All right, guys, leave a comment, hit the like button or dislike it. Probably. I mentioned Trump. I'm going to get dislikes now. And then hit the subscribe button. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, everyone.